In today's video, I'll be showing you how to create this triangulated wall. I'll be going over all of the steps in detail from the beginning of creating the triangulated surface, then turning them into contours and solids like this. So if you want to learn a little bit more about parametric design and parametric modeling, this is going to be a perfect tutorial. So thank you very much for being here, and let me show you the process. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is bring in a point. So double click here, go to construct point. And the reason why I do this is to bring in a parametric point. Now we can always bring in a point from Rhino, but this way we can get started right away here. And I'll route it through this point component so we can change that location if we want to. Next, we'll be creating a plane. This way we can create the surface in the X, Z plane. I'll be using a plane surface. So let's bring that component in and use this plane as the plane input. And now we can use the X and Y size for the overall size here. Next, we need to bring in some points. There are different ways we could do this. I'm going to be using random points. So we'll go here to it's going to be populate geometry. What that'll do is create random points on the surface, and we can pick how many of them. So let's go here to 15. We can always change this. And seed is going to be how many random solutions to this points, because we can have infinite number of iterations to this. So let's go here to 5. So notice that every time it creates 43 points in random locations here. Okay, so now that we have this, let's take those and move them in the negative Y direction. So let's go here to move. The motion is going to be in the Y direction. We'll be using negative, so it moves them away from the surface. Now let's use a set of random numbers. And we know here we have as the output 43, so we'll use 43 numbers. The range is going to be, since it's going to be random numbers, we need to give it a range within, let's say, 1 and 10. So let's do that. Let's go to construct. Domain. This will let us pick the start and end. So let's go here to 1.0. Let's go here to more like 12.0. Then copy this over and then use a smaller number. Now we can use that as the vector factor. And notice that it moves them out randomly here. So we actually need to plug this into the range and then the random into the factor. So now that we have this, let's hide the initial points. And we can also have a seed for the movements. So here we have them moving out between 0 and 12. And we can have different iterations to that as well. So not only do we have random movements, but we can also have the random points change. So with these points, we're going to be bringing in a component called Delaunay mesh, which creates a triangulated set here. Now it's going to ask for a plane, so we can use this exact same plane that we used at the beginning for the input. So it knows how to organize that. Next, since we have a mesh here, let's deconstruct, or let's get the mesh faces. Let's go here, mesh. So we'll use face boundary. But notice that it's creating it within the footprint. So what we need to do now is bring in the corner points for the surface. So we'll use a deconstruct vrep and also plug in these vertices or these points into the point input. This way we can place them and have the boundary be at the wall, but we could also move these over if we want to. So what we can do is this. These points, we'll plug them into the geometry for the movement. But what we need to do now is unplug these, and we need to add 4, because now we have 4 more for each corner. Or the other way we can do this is double click here. Since here as the output we have 47, but on this one we have 43, and on this one we have 4, we can get a list length. And when you plug in a list into the list length, it'll give you the number of objects within that list. And now we can move this over. And rather than using 43, because we have 43 plus 4 here, we need to plug this one into the number. Now let's organize this a little bit. Now that we have these face borders, we can hide the mesh. And now we can turn this into a surface. So let's create a boundary surface right at those triangles. We can always decrease the number of points we have or increase it. This will also, we can also change the depth. And then randomize if we want a different option here. Okay, now let's go back to this and let's join it together. So we have one open surface. And we will be creating the center point. So we need the center point of the base surface. So we'll bring in an area component. I'll bring this over here. And I'll hide the wire so it doesn't overlap with other things. Same with this one. You can always select it and see where it comes from. Now, if you're seeing things a little bit different here, you might have, I have this on. I have draw icons, fancy wires, and draw full names. So now what we're going to do is use the centroid to create the contours. So we'll go to contour, and the centroid is going to be the point where everything starts from. This way it's even on both sides. The shape is going to be this vrep. The direction is going to be in the x direction, so it intersects with that surface. And the distance is going to be between, say, 0.5 less than 3 less than 12.000. So it creates a slider that has a limit, bottom limit of 0.5, sets it at 3, and has 12 as the entire range. So now we've used that triangulated surface as the guide to create these contours. And now we can hide that. Now what I want to do is take, so let's also hide all of the points here. Now what we're going to do is project these line segments to the original surface. So let's go here to project, curve. So projection is going to be in which direction? In the X, Z direction. We'll hide, let's see, we'll hide the wire display here. We'll be using this B-rep. So let's go back actually, this B-rep. Also hide the wire so it doesn't overlap, but we can still see it. And then we'll use these contours. So now we have the contours and the projected contours. And now we can bring in the endpoints for each and connect them with the line segments. So let's go here to a line segment between the start, let's say the start of this one and the start of this one. So start to start. And then we'll do the same thing with the end to the end. Why? Because we're going to turn those into solid sections. So let's join them using join curves and plug in this one, and they are offset but connected with this line. So holding down Shift, I'm adding all of those segments. And I'm going to flatten the input. And you'll see that we have now 43 contours. You can always change the amount. So now that we've done this, so let's keep this clean. I'm just going to hide the wire display on these. Next, we're going to turn them into surfaces. So we'll go here to boundary surface. The same way that we turn the triangles into a surface, we'll turn all of those into surfaces. And now we can take this and extrude it in both directions. So we can use that as a center. So let's extrude it, or move it in the X direction. So let me show you a trick here. We'll move these in the X direction by 1.00. And we will extrude these surfaces in the negative X direction, but we will do that times 2 so we can use the original surface as a center. So times 2, this will give us a multiplication of 2. We can use this as the input. And we're multiplying the vector by 2. but also going in the opposite direction. So now this is the center. Let's increase the limit here to something like 3. Now we can hide this. Now, here's the thing. Since we multiplied it by 2, then we need to take this number and divide it by 2. So now it's, let's say, 0.5 divided by 2 is 0.25, and now it's going in the opposite direction by twice as much, which makes it 0.5. So now let's increase this to 1. And let's change the spacing. If we change it to 1, it's going to be the same amount of spacing. So let's go here to 1.5. Now there's going to be a 0.5 gap in between. Now we can't really see things here because we have kind of this display. So let's bring this into a geometry component. So we kind of know that this is the final form. And let's use a custom preview. And a color swatch. Make this orange for now. Now you can see the design that we created. So it's basically starting by creating the triangulated panels, then using the surface to create the contours as a guide. Now, then turning it into a solid and extruding it into solid panels. Now what this would be useful for is like there's many applications for this, but I can see this being like a accent wall or a dividing wall. So let's move around some of the things here. Now, of course, it's going to be a little bit harder to make some of these changes because at the end here, it does all of these contours and it has to really compute everything. So that's one thing to keep in mind is once you get to the end step, there's a lot of steps that the computer has to do. And so it'll be a little bit trickier to see the changes. Let's change this to the max height to be 3. So this could be a subtle triangulated wall, or it can be something like this. This could also serve as like the back for a climbing wall or something like that. But I just wanted to show you all the steps that are practical here that you can apply even to other designs. And so hopefully you learned a little bit more about parametric design. I really wanted to share this one with you guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'll be posting more videos like this in the future. And if you want to get a hold of the script, you can always do that on my website. So thank you very much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one.